Overinflated price for jobs.
Up this way, guys. Follow me up here. Nice and steady, steady pace.
No ifs, no buts, no more council cuts. No ifs, no buts, no more council cuts. No ifs, no buts, no more council cuts. No ifs.
To speak, so if you can cut your speeches accordingly, okay? Well, thank you very much for inviting me to speak today. I'm the rep in Nottingham City for educators in our schools. And although these cuts are not going to directly affect schools, the underfunding of schools is something I think everybody is well aware of. And if you're not aware, feel free to catch up with me after I've spoken and I'll tell you how the impact of the cuts is affecting every classroom up and down the country, but also in our city. I'm here today to offer solidarity to everybody who wants to fight the cuts and to say that the NEU will stand with you and fight with you to increase the services and to stop the encroachment of privatisation further into our city. Your problems are exactly the same as the problems that we see in school. A government that doesn't care, a government that doesn't care about us in particular and taking care of itself and its friends, but also a lack of real opposition. I think what we have to do is we have to do what the NEU and other unions have been doing, which is to organise, to fight, to use our collective action, to support our community groups and to support each other to fight back against these cuts. So solidarity to everybody in Nottingham, because everybody in Nottingham is going to be affected. Solidarity, thank you.
Good afternoon, Nottingham. It's great to see all of you fighting to protect services and jobs in our city. My name is Marco, I work as a trade unionist in the NHS, and I'm here today in personal capacity to express solidarity. We've seen what Tory cuts have done to the NHS, and we can see the same thing happening to the Nottingham City Council. The sixth richest country in the world is deliberately dismantling essential services that are necessary for a decent standard of living. What a disgrace! Some people might say, what are you protesting about? The Tories will be out of power soon and everything is going to be fine when Labour are in government. I say, let's not be naive. Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer are already repeating the same narrative about maxed out credit cards, paving the way to convince people that we just can't afford to fund public services or a green transition. This is false. We'll continue taking the streets and squares to demand that the billionaires are taxed properly. We'll continue taking the streets and squares until we can live in prosperity. We'll continue fighting in solidarity with all those who want to protect our services and build a better future. Solidarity with the Sheriff of Nottingham.
We speak, I do believe. She's here. Where's she gone?
Thank you, Liam. Give a big round of applause for Councillor Shagufta Caduce. Councillor for Berridge Ward, currently sitting as an independent, having been suspended in a disgraceful attack on her by the Labour group. And also, as you've just heard, Sheriff of Nottingham, Shagufta. I've never been introduced by a song before. Oh, that's loud, isn't it? So I hope you can hear me, because there is an echo on the mic.
I've changed the mic.
Is it still going on? So on Monday afternoon in the building here, we had our budget meeting. I presented the petition that was signed by the Save Our Services campaign and signed by the 13,000 people of the Nottingham Resolve petition. This mic is terrible. Where the other 54 councillors, or most of them, were present. This is what I said. Clock chime. When I became sheriff, I pledged to amplify the voices of people in this city. That's why I'm presenting this unison petition on behalf of hundreds of trade unionists, the Save Our Services campaign, and in the spirit of the 13,000 who signed the Nottingham Resolve petition that went all the way to Downing Street on Friday. These thousands of people love Nottingham and want us to fight for our city. The names here do not have a vote in this room today, nor do our kids in care, people in temporary accommodation, our vulnerable adults, our social workers, our social housing tenants, our charities and volunteers, our artists and protectors of culture. They do not have a vote, but I do. We do. It's true that Nottingham has been pushed to the edge by Tory austerity and the suits in Westminster, that we have lost £950 per household compared to, say, Oxfordshire, that has just lost £96 per household. It is also true that our city is at the centre of a storm of overlapping crises in housing, social care, the cost of living, and the demolition of local democracy. But surely, times of crisis require us to be bolder. If we all agree that it's a broken system, what comes of complying with it? Rubber stamping this budget with heavy hearts will do little for the 500 people whose jobs are at risk, many of whom are friends and respected colleagues. Today, we have agency. We can organise and we can imagine better for our people than unelected commissioners. Every name on this petition, the residents of my ward and the campaigners here are asking the councillors in this room to truly stand alongside them. I cannot, in good conscience, vote for these cuts. Please do not ignore the voices in this petition. So we were in the chamber for 7.5 hours. The vote took place at 9:15 on Monday evening, and as everyone's name was called out one by one, each Labour councillor said the words, "Constrained by the national government cuts and the Section 151 officer, I vote for." Obviously, then it came to me, and I'm really glad my surname starts with a Q, because I'm at the end. So I had a moment to think how I was going to stand with you and with this city. My response when my name was called for this devastating budget was, constrained by the 1,557 people who have signed this petition and the 13,000 people who have signed the Nottingham Resolve petition, I vote against. Honestly, I think there was only Jean and Gary left at the public gallery at 9:15. So that's kind of where I'm at. So now I've been immediately suspended from the Labour Party, who told me that if we voted against the budget, we would immediately be suspended from the Labour Party. But in all good conscience, it was the right thing for me to do. It was the only thing to do, to represent the residents I represent and to represent the city that I love. And as the Nottingham Evening Post have said today, yes, in a heartbeat, I would go to prison and break the law rather than make the poor of our city pay for Tory austerity. Thank you.
you, Shagufta, for your political leadership and for standing up for your class, and we look forward to campaigning with you against